My name is Zara. I'm 26 years old. I live in a quiet neighborhood in Manchester. People think I have a simple life. I work at a bookstore. I smile at strangers. I say I'm fine even when I'm not. But deep inside, I carry a story that still hurts. I was 22 when I first met him. We were both students at Manchester Metropolitan University. He sat near me in our first communication studies lecture. He wasn't loud. Not flashy. Just calm, polite, and focused. I remember the first time he looked at me and smiled. My heart didn't know what to do. During a group presentation, I got nervous. He leaned close and whispered, "You're doing great." No one had ever said that to me before. That moment stayed in my heart. We started having coffee together at a small cafe near Oxford Road. We talked about books, part-time jobs, dreams. Slowly, I started falling for him. And it felt safe. It felt real. I didn't tell anyone. Not my friends. Not my family. But inside, I believed this was more than just a friendship. It was something deep. Something soft. Something I thought would last. After that first coffee near Oxford Road, something started to change. We were no longer just classmates. He waited for me after lectures. We walked together to the bus stop, sometimes in silence, sometimes talking about life. He remembered small things. Like how I always took 2 sugars in my tea. Or that I liked rainy days more than sunny ones. One afternoon, we sat on a bench outside the John Dalton building. He looked at me and softly said, "You're different. Being with you feels peaceful." I didn't say anything, but my heart smiled. From that day, he started texting me every morning. "Good luck with your exam." And every night, "Don't forget to rest." I looked forward to his words more than anything. When I was tired, he brought me my favorite chocolate. When I was stressed, he'd play calm music and say, "Let's take a break." I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell my family. But inside, I knew what was happening. I was falling in love. And I thought he was falling too. As weeks turned into months, I started giving more of myself. Not because he asked, but because I wanted to. He once said, "I want to apply for an internship in London, but the fee is too high." The next morning, I transferred money from my savings. He smiled and said, "Thanks, you're amazing." But he never asked how I managed it. When he had long assignments, I stayed up with him. I made notes. I proofread. I brought him tea. I skipped my own revision, just to help him pass. When he was sick, I cooked for him. When he was late, I lied to my parents. I even covered for him when he missed class. Slowly, I started hiding my own pain. My back pain. My failing grades. My stress. I didn't want to bother him. My world had become small. Just him and his needs. Sometimes, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. But whenever he said, "You're the only one who understands me," I forgot the hurt. I thought, this is love. Giving everything. Even if you get nothing in return. It started with small things. A message seen, but not replied. A call that ended too quickly. A long pause between words that once flowed so easily. I told myself, maybe he's busy. He's applying for jobs in London. Working part-time at a coffee shop near Oxford Street. Going to interviews. But deep down, something felt different. We used to talk every night, before sleep. Now, some nights passed with no messages at all. We used to meet every day after class. Now, he was tired. Or had plans. One Saturday evening, I waited outside our usual cafe, near Whitworth Park. I had his favorite drink in my hand. I waited. 10 minutes. 20. 40. Then came his message. Sorry, something came up. I smiled at the waiter, and walked away. That night, I opened our old photos. We looked happy. I looked happy. I wanted to ask him, are we okay? But I didn't. I was scared of the answer. So I stayed quiet. Because sometimes, silence feels safer than truth. It was a cold evening. I was lying in bed, scrolling through Instagram, not really looking for anything. Then I saw it. A photo. Him in a dark blue suit. Standing beside a girl I had never seen before. She wore a golden dress. He was holding her hand. The caption said, "Can't wait to start this journey with you. Ring red heart #myforever." My heart stopped. I stared at the screen, frozen. It was an engagement post. And he never said a word to me. I blinked. I hoped it was an old photo. I hoped it was a mistake. But the comments were full of truth. She's so pretty. You two are perfect. Congratulations, bro. My hands were shaking. My chest felt tight. I messaged him. Is this real? He didn't reply for hours. When he finally did, he said, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. That sentence broke me completely. I gave him everything. He gave someone else, forever. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my bed, holding my phone, waiting for him to say something that would make it all make sense. But he didn't. The next morning, I messaged again. Why didn't you tell me? After an hour, he replied. It was complicated. I didn't want to hurt you. Hurt me? He had already broken me. I called him. My hands were shaking. When he picked up, I asked, was any of it real? The late night talks, the smiles, the promises? He paused. Then said, Zara, I did care. But my parents chose her. It's a family thing. I didn't have a choice. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it hurt. You didn't have a choice? I whispered. You had a choice when I stayed up all night for you. When I gave you my savings. When I skipped my own exams to help you. That was your choice. He sighed. Then he said, you're strong. I knew you'd be okay. That one line felt like a slap. I didn't say another word. I ended the call. No screaming. No crying. Just silence. And in that silence, my heart broke again, 4 days. I didn't eat. I didn't speak. I didn't even move much. I just lay in bed. My room was silent, but inside, it was chaos. My heart kept repeating the same questions. Why didn't he choose me? Was I not enough? I opened our old chats. Read the way he used to call me his piece. Saw the messages where he said he couldn't sleep without hearing my voice. Lies. Or maybe they were true once. But not anymore. I looked at the photo we took at Heaton Park. He was holding my hand. I thought he was the one. Now, that hand belonged to someone else. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. My pain was quiet. Like fire, burning slowly inside my chest. One night, I called my best friend. I didn't say hello. I didn't explain. I just cried. She didn't ask questions. She didn't say, "You'll be fine." She just said, "Zara, you are not alone." And that one sentence became the first thread holding my broken heart together. A few days later, my sister came to visit. She didn't ask me to forget him. She didn't say move on. She just looked at me with kind eyes. And softly said, "You forgot to love yourself, Zara." Her words didn't heal me. But they cracked something open. After she left, I opened the drawer near my bed. Inside was my old journal. I hadn't touched it in months. The pages were full of dreams. I saw places I once wanted to visit. Edinburgh Castle. Snowdonia. The Isle of Skye. I saw goals I had written down, in my own handwriting. Teach English to children. Write a blog. Travel alone, just once. I stared at the pages like they belonged to someone else. But they were mine. That girl, full of hope. She was still inside me. That night, I tied my hair. I looked in the mirror. My face looked tired, but not weak. I touched the glass and whispered to myself. He left, but I'm still here. And maybe that's enough to begin again. That morning, I woke up before my alarm. No messages. No calls. Just silence. But this silence felt different. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't cold. It was peaceful. I made myself a cup of tea. I stood by the window as the soft Manchester rain touched the glass. And I just breathed. I opened my laptop. I typed something small into Google. English teaching jobs for beginners near me. I didn't expect answers. I just wanted to try. Later that day, I walked through Fletcher Moss Gardens. People laughed. Dogs ran. Children chased pigeons. The world was moving. Even if mine had stopped. But now, I wanted to move too. When I came back home, I opened a blank page on my laptop. And I wrote. Not a story. Just my truth. My pain. My heart. Every word felt like air. That evening, my phone buzzed. Hey. I'm sorry. Hope you're okay. His name. His words. I read them. But I didn't reply. Because healing doesn't start with answers. It starts with one choice. choosing peace over pain. Months have passed. I never replied to that message. And he never messaged again. I don't know where he is now. And for the first time, I don't want to know. Because I'm not that girl anymore. The girl who waited for a text. The girl who gave her whole heart. And kept nothing for herself. I teach part-time now at a small learning center in Salford. I help young children with English. When they smile after learning a new word, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Purpose. I walk near the river. I sip tea in silence. I write every night before bed. Some pages are still heavy. But others are full of hope. I don't forget the pain. But now, I also remember who I am. If you're listening to this, maybe you're hurting too. Maybe someone broke your trust. Maybe you gave everything and got nothing back. Let me tell you something. You are not weak. You are not alone. One day, someone will choose you. Not in secret. Not as a second choice. But proudly. Fully. Completely. Until that day, choose yourself. Every single day. Speech balloon. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.